What do you think would happen if you fought Tommy Hitman Hearns?
What? Ooh, up off net. Up off net. Did you guys see the interview on Drink Champs interviewing Floyd Money Mayweather? And there's so much to talk about, so much exposure. What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz the Adult. All right, man, look. Floyd Money Mayweather exposed. Oops. All right, man, look. Let's get to the video. There's so much to say. The first thing I want to talk about as someone who loves the sport of boxing is the fantasy fight. That question, when asked to Floyd Mayweather, who will win between you and Tommy Hearns? Let's go! Let's go! I love that. Here's the thing, even better than that question, I loved Floyd's answer.
When you're not able to hit the target, now you get tired.
Right.
He's been clipped in 3. Mm-hmm. He's been clipped before. Mm-hmm. There's a green print on how to beat him.
Now, you guys have posed that question to me, asked me that question on many of live stream. And I've often said that I think Tommy Hearns would beat Floyd Mayweather. But I don't expect Floyd Mayweather to say Tommy Hearns would beat him because he's a fighter, okay? I've heard Sugar Ray Leonard say that he'll beat Mike Tyson, all right? So, Floyd Mayweather, he says he was extremely on point when he said, you can't hurt what you can't hit. But on top of that, he said there is a green print, meaning blueprint, on how to beat Tommy Hearns because he was beat before. Now, when I thought about that, I said, well, I ran Barkley going forward, put Tommy Hearns on his back foot, knocked him out. Okay. Marvelous Marvin Hagler, pressing forward, putting Tommy Hearns on his back foot, fighting that inside fight, fighting Tommy Hearns and not boxing him, knocked him out. Sugar Ray Leonard, a box out. So Floyd Money Mayweather had a huge and incredible point. The thing is, I don't think Floyd Money Mayweather could have done that as Money Mayweather. But as Pretty Boy, yeah, what he did to Chico, how he moved forward, was the aggressor. If he's the aggressor, throwing a lot of punches at Tommy Hearns, he can give his best Sugar Ray Leonard impression. He can, as Pretty Boy. So I liked his answer. Here's the thing, though. I think Tommy Hearns will still beat him. ShowBizz the coffee. But with that said, made me think a little bit more. I like that. Black 2 sugars. And he said a few things, okay? He spoke on HBO, that whole thing. He's saying that, hey, when he left HBO and went to Showtime, there was no more HBO.
And when I made Showtime the A side, and HBO boxing is now off TV.
Wow. He brought up something else. Great hot topic. The fights between him and Castillo. Floyd Mayweather said some interesting things there. And Floyd Mayweather, he said about Castillo, well, you know, if a fighter wins a few rounds and, you know, put on a good performance, then they said that he beat me.
I can win 9 rounds, he can win 3 rounds, and they're going to say, you know what, do a rematch.
Right.
Well, he's capping there, okay? Castillo, he did outperform Floyd Mayweather. But Floyd Mayweather has a point about his shoulder. See, it is true that Floyd Mayweather did hurt his shoulder. He was fighting Castillo with one arm. I've often said that, but the point still remains Castillo should have gotten a nod. If it was one arm, if it was one hand, if it was no arms, if it was both. Castillo beat him, okay? Now, I often gave Floyd this. Floyd rematched him and then beat him. See, that's the thing. I don't mind the loss. And Floyd, as a true champion, when he heard that the people thought that Castillo was robbed, Floyd Mayweather ran it back, the hardest fight that he had up until that point, and then he beat him. So I gave him love for the rematches like he did with Maidana. Much love to Floyd Mayweather, him being a true champion and fighting him with a messed up rotator cuff. That's a true champion. I give him love for that. Me thinking Castillo beat Floyd Mayweather was no knock to Floyd Mayweather. He did what he had to do. The best he could. He had one arm, but Castillo should have gotten the nod. That was my whole thing. But Floyd Mayweather rematched him and then beat him. I think Floyd Mayweather was a better fighter than Castillo. I think he's a greater fighter than Castillo. But certain circumstances led to his loss. And that's what happens in boxing. Many times, circumstantially, one night from the next can dictate who wins or loses that fight. Floyd Mayweather never got that because when that night where he just had a bad circumstance, they gave it to Floyd anyway. What I'm saying is Castillo really won that fight. He should have gotten the nod, circumstantial, based on his shoulder. He only had one arm, all those things. But then he rematched him and beat him, proved that he's a better fighter. But still, he should have that loss on his record. That's all I'm saying. Another thing about Floyd Mayweather and a hurt rotator cuff is this. If you already know how it feels to have a hurt rotator cuff, practically one arm, but still throwing with both hands anyway, but you know that you're dealing with an injury, then you should have a little bit more empathy for Manny Pacquiao when Manny Pacquiao fought him with one arm. He did. Floyd Mayweather looked better against Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao didn't look quite like himself because he himself had a hurt shoulder. And he fought him with one arm, leading to Floyd Mayweather beating him. But the difference between Castillo and Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, he got the nod. Castillo should have gotten the nod. Now let's talk about the big one. He talked about Manny Pacquiao. And he brought up Manny Pacquiao, the reason why he even questioned him being dirty.
How a fighter can come from, I think, 108 all the way to 154 and knock out all these guys. To me, it's amazing.
I think drink champs, I think that they miss an opportunity to pressure Floyd Mayweather on what you know I'm about to bring up, the IV. And I think that was an opportunity for Floyd Mayweather. See, the Nevada Testing Commission, I think that's what they call. When Nevada said, okay, look, the IV, that was illegal. But they said there was nothing in the IV that was illegal. I know you guys probably think I'm capping. There was nothing in the IV that was illegal. But the way he administered, he was trying to get rehydrated. The way he administered it through the IV is illegal. But he didn't take any banned substances. That was an opportunity for Floyd Mayweather to say those things, and he wasn't pressured or pressed any further by drink champs. And I think that's because that's not really a boxing platform, so they really don't know. I want to say this one thing, Playboy. You still got an opportunity, if you subscribe to this channel, to receive this giveaway. The Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder autographed glove. It's official. And you see Deontay Wilder here, and it's autographed by Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. It's an official glove that's autographed by him. Here's the authenticity of the actual signature. Is here on this card right here. It's going to be wrapped up because I'm not going to mess up this signature, okay? I'm going to keep it preserved, okay? But you still have an opportunity. Just subscribe to this channel. You have an opportunity to win the glove. Only subscribers got the opportunity, and I will announce it February 23rd. So you can at least know the value of the glove if Deontay Wilder wins or loses, because I'll bet you this, if he wins, the value of the glove will increase. Now let's get to the video. So that's how I feel about the whole Manny Pacquiao thing, the whole drug thing, the whole IV thing. From my understanding, the solution in the IV wasn't illegal, it's just the way he administered it. And I think that was an opportunity, a platform to tell the world, remind the world of exactly what happened there. He did do something illegal though, which was the IV. So, and I'm pretty sure Floyd knew that. So while you're in the forefront of talking about keeping everything clean, you did something dirty. Now, let's talk about the last thing. Him bringing up his next fight on his comeback. He's saying that quite possibly it's going to be Conor McGregor or Habib, or maybe both of them on the same night. Floyd Mayweather said that he's not going to come back and fight a boxer. Why? He said that he's proven himself over the past since 1996 that he's the best there is. So he said, why prove myself against a boxer? Why not fight somebody that I can really beat and get a whole bunch of money for it? Y'all are going to buy it, so I might as well put myself in a very low risk, extremely high reward situation. He has nothing else to prove. Here's the thing. I'm going to respond to that by saying this. One, that doesn't make me feel good as a fan, okay? It really doesn't. I can't applaud the fact that he's getting dollars. And me, I'm just giving it away to watch something, to get something that I'm not going to be entertained by, that I'm not going to respect. It is my job to consume that, though. When he goes and he fights Conor McGregor on his comeback or Khabib, it's my job to consume that. So I'm not going to be happy consuming it, okay? But for anybody else, he is going to get the money he's talking about. And it is something that he knows this to the point where he said, I'm about to get paid, low risk, I'm gonna do my thing. Why take on a real challenge? I've already proved myself. I'm not gonna fight Errol Spence. I'm not gonna fight Terrence Crawford. I'm not going to even fight Manny Pacquiao. I'm gonna fight an MMA guy. I'm gonna say this as well. I still think that Floyd Mayweather wants to fight. I do, okay? They all do. They want to keep fighting. It's just like when you see your boy, play basketball, or you yourself playing the 30 and over league, the 40 and over league. You ain't trying to go up against guys who's trying to make it to the NBA. You're not trying to go up against guys that's trying to dunk on you. You're just trying to work up a sweat, shoot that old shot, bring out that behind the back pass you used to do in 1998. You're just trying to do that. That's what Floyd Mayweather, he can't stay out the gym. He want to throw his hands a little bit. And let me throw it with a Conor McGregor, not somebody like a killer, not a Terrence Crawford that's going to knock my head off my shoulders. Why? Okay, I'm 40-something years old. I'm just going to mix it up a little bit with the Conor McGregor, with a Khabib, something like that, and get a whole bunch of money for it. Why not? Okay? Now, I get what he's saying. And he said that boxing don't really mean as much to him. He has nothing else to prove. But at the same time, like I said, I think he will always want to challenge himself a bit, not to the point of danger. He's done with that. So he's going to come back. And here it is. He's exposed this. It's going to be against Conor McGregor or Khabib. It's going to be an MMA guy. Somebody that's going to give him a huge reward, very low risk. He said he didn't even train for the Conor McGregor fight the first time. He said he knew that Conor McGregor had no stamina. He did a few push-ups, a few sit-ups. He got in the fight and kicked his ass. So he got so much money. He gets almost 100% of it, right? Because he's promoting the fight. He's managing everything. He's doing everything. Him and his team is, so he's getting a lot of money. So why not do it? I get it. It's a win-win for him. But for fans, it may just be a lose-lose. Or if you love Floyd Mayweather, then just to see him in a square circle again, that may just help you out. You may just say, look, man, that's Floyd Mayweather. He's one of my favorite fighters ever. It's good to see him out there again. Either way, I get that. Because I remember looking at Roy Jones just out there. He had a gut. Just seeing Roy Jones bring out the old Captain Hook again, I was feeling it myself. But overarchingly, this is how I feel about that interview. This is how I feel about Floyd Money Mayweather, him exposing all these things. You guys got to see the interview. It's on Tidal. And like I said, he exposed himself on many things. The biggest thing that he exposed himself on is him pretty much, robbing the fit, going to say, hey, look, man, you guys going to pay for this product anyway. I'm going to go him wearing that burglar mask, that mask, like, hey, look, like that, being a thief. That's pretty much the idea. I'm going to go and rob the public, get millions of dollars. I'm going to tell you in your face, though, that I'm going to do it. So don't be mad when you consume it. He really exposed himself there, and he had no problem doing it. So, hey, it is what it is. But the overarching thing about this whole interview, Floyd Mayweather did show that he was a little annoyed by certain things, like him not getting the respect that he think he deserves. And I agree. I often said him beating a lot of these guys when they said that he was, he cherry picked those guys. He fought them when they were beyond their primes. Floyd Mayweather was beyond his prime himself, and they don't want to say anything. Him saying that he picked people who was older than him, like fighting Oscar De La Hoya when he was over the hill. He said no one brought up Canelo Alvarez fighting me when I was over the hill. So he was keeping it a buck. dark. And that's the thing. If you hate Floyd Mayweather, you're going to come up with an asterisk or an excuse with every fight that he has. And that's just facts. Him beating Sugar Shane Mosley, surviving those two crazy right hands right after Sugar Shane Mosley beat the Floyd Money Mayweather boogeyman in Antonio Margarito, that was a good victory to me. Him taking on Cotto at 154, that was a fantastic victory for me. Him beating Canelo Alvarez, fantastic victory to me. Now, I do know that he kind of drained the weight a little bit of Canelo Alvarez, but Manny Pacquiao did it with Cotto. And nobody's saying anything to Manny Pacquiao. Floyd Mayweather was never a 154-pounder. Okay, so Floyd Mayweather beating Canelo Alvarez, fantastic win. Diego Corrales, fantastic win. Arturo Gotti, Zab Judah, fantastic wins. Even Sean Bay Mitchell, Chop Corley, at the time that he moved up and beat them, I remember when it happened, I was like, man, this guy is the truth. Fantastic win. Him pulling out that win of Oscar De La Hoya. Good fight, fantastic win. Oscar De La Hoya was bigger, still had it. Fantastic win. Floyd Mayweather on the Maidana, all those fights. Floyd Mayweather is too overly criticized. You can't have every win have an asterisk next to it. Everything was circumstantial. Every single win. That's just ridiculous to me. Floyd Mayweather, all-time great fighter. That was a good interview in the sense that they already said it's going to be all over the place. Don't expect a very professional interview. They just out there drinking, and a lot of information was put out there. It was 2 hours, 25 minutes long. If you have the time in your day to watch it or the patience, do just that on title, ShowBizz the Adult. Let me know how you feel in the comments below. I'm out.